Now dear student, this is Naveed Khan, your mathematics teacher. So today we are going to start frequency distribution, how to complete frequency distribution table. Okay, so let's have a look, my dear student, for the first question. So the first question is, the following distribution represent the scores achieved by a group of students in the chemistry laboratory. Answer the questions given at the end. Okay, so when we will finish this complete this frequency distribution table, so right after this we have some questions and then we will be able to complete the answers. Okay, so here now in this frequency distribution table, total we have 4 columns. Column 1 is the second column, number of students. Column 3, and here we have column 4. Okay, class mark. So now here look at the first column, scores. So the first column we have groups. So how many groups we have? 1 2 3 4 5. So total we have 5 groups. Okay, so now my dear student, we have 5 groups, or we have 5 classes. So the first group is 24 to 28. 24 to 28. So the frequency of this group is 3. It means that from 24 marks to 28 marks, so we have 3 students, and from 29 to 33 we have 7 students, and similarly we have 12 students between 34 and 38. Okay, so now dear students, look at here. Here the first element is 24 and the last element is 28. Okay, so the first element, so we call it the first element, which is 24, so we call it lower class limit. Okay, lower class limit. And this 28, so we call it upper class limit. So 24 is the lower class limit and 28 is the upper class limit. Okay, upper class limit. Now dear student, and similarly look at the second group. So 29 is the lower class limit and 33 is the upper class limit. Okay, and its frequency is 7. Okay, so and look at the last group, which is 44 to 48. So the lower limit of the last class is 44 and the upper limit of the last class is 48, and the frequency is 15. Okay, now my dear student, these groups and frequency, it will be given, so we need to find out the class boundaries and class mark. Okay, now in the next slide we already find out class boundaries and class marks. How to find out class boundaries and class mark? Okay, my dear student, so look at the first one. The first one is 24 to 28. Okay, look at the upper limit of the first class and the lower limit of the second class. If we will see these both limits, so there is no repetition. This is 28 and this is 29. If there is no repetition, so in simple word we will find our class boundaries. So all these are integers. So in a simple way, the first is 24, so we here to find out the class boundaries, so we will minus 0.5. Okay, and here with the upper limit we will plus 0.5. You got, my dear student? So this is 24 minus 0.5, so the answer will become 23.5 into 28.5. Okay, look at the second group, which is 29. If we will minus 0.5, so the answer will become 28.5 into 33.5. Okay, and similarly find out the remaining groups. Okay, now class mark. In statistics we call it class mark, but in mathematics we call it class midpoint. So the first lower limit is 24 and the upper limit is 28. How to find out the class mark? Class mark means that exactly the middle number of this group. So we will plus both the numbers, lower limit plus upper limit. This is lower limit plus upper limit, okay, which is 28, and then divided by 2. So if we will plus both the numbers and then divided by 2, so the answer will become 26, okay. And similarly for the second group, the answer will become 31. So let's have a look for the next slide, and there you will find out. Okay, now my dear student, this is the same question like the previous slide, okay. So here this is the complete frequency distribution table, okay. This is the complete frequency distribution table. So now my dear student, here this is class boundaries. Here I find out class boundaries. So in the last column here we have is class mark, okay. So now look at the question. So my dear student, here we have to find out the class size. Class size means that, my dear student, look at the groups. So the first group which we have is 24 to 28, okay, and the second group we have is 29 to 33, okay. So now my dear student, look at here, class size. Class size means that how many numbers are there in one class, okay. So we have different methods to find out the class size. The first method is 28 minus 24 and then plus 1, okay. If we will minus 28 minus 24, so the answer will become 4, and then we have to plus 1, the answer will become 5. This is one method. Or take any two consecutive classes, take any two consecutive groups. So look at the lower limit. The lower limit is 29. So 29 minus 24, directly the answer will become 5, okay. Otherwise you can count it 24 to 28, so we have 5 numbers, okay. Now my dear student, look at the second part B. What is the upper limit of the last class? So the last class which we have is 44 to 48. This one is our last class. So what is the upper limit? So upper limit, so definitely the answer will become 48, okay. Now look at the part C. What is the lower limit of the first class? So the first class we have is 24 to 28. So its lower limit, look at here, lower limit. So the lower limit, it will become 24, okay dear student. Now my dear student, this is part C. In part C, what number of students has scores between 24 to 43? If you will look back to the frequency distribution table, so from 24 to 43 total we have, the first group we have 3 numbers, and the second group we have 7 numbers, the frequency is 7. The third group we have 12, and the fourth group we have 23. So now from 24 to 43, so total we have 45 numbers, okay. Now the last one is find the midpoint of the group 39 to 49. And dear student, at the beginning I asked you that midpoint and class mark both are same. Midpoint means that to find out the midpoint we will plus both the numbers, 39 plus 43, and then divided by 2. So let me check the answer. So the answer will become 41, okay. And find the class boundaries and class mark. Already we have find out it in the frequency distribution table. So in the same way, dear student, this is question number 1. And now my dear student, this is question number 4. In the same way you have to complete this question. Groups are already here. How many groups we have? 1 2 3 4 5. So we have 5 groups. frequencies are already here. Okay, the frequency of the first group is 7, then 21, then 4, then 2 and 1. Now class mark means that we will lower limit plus upper limit. The first element is lower limit, class limit, and this 29 is the upper class limit. Okay, dear student, so we will plus both the numbers and then divided by 2, so the answer will become 24.5. Similarly, the class mark of the second group, it will become 34.5, then 44.5, 54.5 and 64.5. okay, and now for the class boundaries, here we have integers, so 0.5 it will be minus from the lower limit, and here will be plus 0.5 with the upper class limit. Okay, so here when we will minus 0.5, so the answer will become 19.5 and then 29.5. Similarly for the second group, for the third group, for the fourth group and for the sixth group. Okay, student, so here we have some question, you need to solve it. Look back to the first question, and here is the upper class limit of the first group. Okay, so the upper class limit is 29, and now the lower class limit of here, so the lower class limit will become 40, and you need to find out class size. Look back to the frequency distribution table and find out it. Okay, find the midpoint. The midpoint, my dear student, as I ask you that the midpoint and class mark both are same, so we will plus both the numbers and then divided by 2, so the answer will become 54.5. okay, dear student, so this is the question. So we need to find out number of employees having age between 39 to 49 years. Look back to the frequency distribution table and count it how many numbers are there between 39 and 49, and write down the answer here. Okay, dear student, so already we find out it, class boundaries and class interval. So now, dear student, this worksheet I will upload it on Moodle. So question number 1 I did it. Question number 4, it is a half of the question I finish, and half of the question you need to solve it. And this question number 2 and question number 3 both are your homework. Okay, so thank you very much, my dear student, and take care of yourself. Masalam.